Okay. You get the picture. So a little bit ago, I made resting scholar face, a video that people getting ready for talks or job talks or presentations could use to figure out how to maintain their balance, their center, when confronted with a person who is kind of making scowling faces, which would indicate, at least on the surface, that the person, thought very poorly of your talk, even though in fact, most of the time they don't when the Q&A comes and their face lights up. Well, resting scholar face is just one of the various personae, the paradigms that you are going to encounter in talks, lectures, job talks, interviews, and so forth. And so what I thought I would do to try to be helpful, since it is application season, is to make a few more of those personae. And in this video, I want to talk about one of the individuals you are guaranteed to encounter in one of those formats, who is completely different, a completely different vibe than resting scholar face person, but also equally unsettling if you're not ready for it. And this is the affirmer. I would call the person. This is a person who, for whatever reason, has vocal gestures, even body gestures sometimes, that is constantly affirming the speaker, whether it be a speaker at a lectern or the speaker in a one-on-one interview, and is actually kind of emitting little sounds of affirmation. I chose one, as you'll see when you get to the video. By the way, if you want to skip this intro, you can go right to the time code shown here, and that's where you can begin your practice. This is the exact opposite of resting scholar face. Resting scholar face, the person is dead quiet, making scowling faces. It's, can create this mind job where you're worried that the person, thinks you're an idiot and whatnot. The affirmer is different because the affirmer has a situation in which it might actually seem like the person is completely on your side and really excited for your work, and you might actually feed off of their energy. But at the same time, there are two kind of pitfalls that can surface, which you have to avoid. The first one is that constant affirmation, especially if it's vocalized or if it's nodded or gestures, can be really distracting. Like, you've practiced your talk, you've practiced what it is that you want to get across in a one-on-one conversation, and these little interruptions, however good and positive and however appreciative you are of them, can throw you off. And you can kind of stumble and then forget where you are on the page or whatever. And so that's what I want you to practice with this video as well. I want you to be as ready for the affirmer as the resting scholar face person. But a second one, this is not something you can really practice in the video, although I guess maybe you kind of could, is, let's say you're actually in a physical venue, and you have 40 people in front of you, and you have a kind of an affirmer, like right in the front row or second row, stage left. Something that can very easily happen is that because this person is nodding or smiling or giving you affirmation, you can over-fixate on them to the cost or expense of paying attention through your energy, through your body, through turning your head to everyone else in the room. It can become like this exclusive one-on-one conversation because you're up there, you're nervous, you need energy, you need something to calm you down, you want to feel good, you need that affirmation in order to do well, and you can unconsciously reorient your body and just kind of constantly come from the paper back to the person, back to the thing, back to the person, and then everybody else is sort of energetically shut out of the conversation. Yeah, they still hear you giving your talk, they still hear your slides, but it's different when the speaker never looks in your general direction of the room ever. So those are two things to keep in mind. And without further ado, here is the affirmer. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. 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 Hmm. 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 Mm. Okay. You get the picture. The person is really trying to be with you, supportive of you, uh, but I mean, if you're practicing along, I have to imagine you're already kind of getting tripped up by it because sometimes it seems, you know, logical that someone might have a reaction that kind of spills out from their being, and other times it can throw you off because it just seems maybe disconnected from anything you're actually saying, which makes, at least for me, always brings up questions like, are you actually listening to me? And then just, you're stressed, you're nervous, so it's just, if you're like me, any kinds of noises or additional things can really throw you off. It's why I can't listen to music while I write, pretty much. and I tend to need to be, white noise in a cafe noise is fine, but stuff that's actually my brain is attuning to, is trying to tap into, it just throws me off. So feel free. I cannot bring myself to do this for 45 minutes, but feel free to go back to the beginning and just practice little things as you need. And I'd also say this is not just, and maybe not primarily just, about people in the audience at a talk. It could certainly be over Zoom, but although they should have their mic muted. But even more so are one-on-one meetings during campus visits or their equivalent, Zoom one-on-one meetings where the mics are on, or even things like interviews. I remember having a conversation one time with an editor, and it was like this, and I left it, and I was talking to my wife, and I was like, I think I did a bad job, like, explaining what my work is about, and it didn't feel right, and I realized that part of it was I just kept being thrown off by affirmation, I guess. So just a quick video for those of you who are practicing talks, practicing upcoming events, and I hope it's useful. I'll see you in the next video.